Welcome back to LFC Transfer Hub, your ultimate home for all things Liverpool. Today we've got huge transfer drama and breaking news.
Arne Slot identifies Marc Guehi alternative after devastating Liverpool injury update. Liverpool served damning Konate future update as true Real Madrid intentions are explained, multiple sources. Let's dive into Reds. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated. Arne Slot identifies Marc Guehi alternative after devastating Liverpool injury update. Liverpool manager Arne Slot has been rocked by the news that Giovanni Leone is expected to be out of action for a year. The 18-year-old Italian sustained an ACL injury during Tuesday night's Carabao Cup victory over Southampton. Slot confirmed that the injury is to the former Parma player's anterior cruciate ligament, meaning he will be sidelined for the foreseeable future. The setback is certainly a blot on Liverpool's season so far, which has seen them win all 5 of their Premier League matches, putting them 5 points clear at the top of the table. Liverpool now face a difficult match against Crystal Palace on Saturday, with the Eagles also yet to lose this season. However, Leone's injury highlights Liverpool's need for defensive reinforcements. The Reds may have found an alternative to long-term transfer target, Palace captain Marc Guehi, in the form of Bayern Munich star Dayot Upamecano as they look to address their centre-back worries. Here, we take a look at how Slot's squad is preparing for the clash with Palace. Light on depth for Crystal Palace clash. Leone put in a strong performance on Tuesday before his injury, making the devastating news even harder for Slot to take. Naturally, Leone will not be available for selection against Palace. Speaking about his injury, Slot said, "There is never a positive side, but you try to look at that, and that is that he is still so young and he has so many years still go to after he recovers from a terrible injury." Besides being without Leone, Liverpool will also head to Selhurst Park minus Hugo Ekitike, who received his marching orders in strange circumstances at Anfield on Tuesday. There appeared to be uncertainty over which fixture the French striker would sit out, with some supporters believing he would be absent for the club's upcoming Carabao Cup clash, also against Palace. Nevertheless, Ekitike will be unavailable for the Premier League encounter through suspension, meaning new arrival Alexander Isak, who netted his maiden goal for the club in midweek against the Saints, could be set to make his first start for Liverpool. That leaves Slot light on options at both the back and up front. Meanwhile, Palace are also confronting their own mounting crisis. Although Ismaila Sarr and Yeremy Pino are expected to be past fit, Chadi Riyad, Sheikh Dukor, Caleb Quara and Walter Benitez are all potentially unavailable on Saturday. Reds find Marc Guehi alternative. With Leone sidelined for such an extended period, Slot already finds himself dependent on the fitness of Ibrahima Konate, who is in the final year of his deal at Liverpool, and Joe Gomez when it comes to partnering Virgil van Dijk at the heart of the Reds' defense. Whilst the pair's quality is beyond question, their fitness record is concerning. The unsuccessful chase for Marc Guehi on transfer deadline day already appears to be coming back to haunt Liverpool. The Reds are reportedly still interested in Guehi, however, the defender is free to speak to clubs on the continent soon, with Real Madrid said to be keen. The reported interest from Real has now spurred Liverpool into action, with Slot's side rumored to have shifted their focus to Upamecano, as per Bild. Upamecano, who once partnered Konate at RB Leipzig, is also embroiled in a contract saga of his own. However, it's reported that Bayern would be keen to renew his deal. They splashed out £36 million for him in 2021 and he has since won 3 Bundesliga titles with the Bavarian Giants. Real are also said to be eyeing Konate, complicating Liverpool's ongoing centre-back pursuit, meaning a deal for Guehi or Upamecano could be fast-tracked. Marc Guehi's true Liverpool transfer saga feelings clear as final Crystal Palace decision looms. Marc Guehi will captain Crystal Palace against Liverpool this weekend, but there was a moment when it looked as though he might be lining up on the other side. The England centre-back was on the verge of a deadline day move to Anfield, only for the Eagles to pull the plug at the 11th hour. Guehi had reportedly even gone as far as filming a farewell video, and may well have left with the understanding of the Palace fanbase, but instead he will remain at Selhurst Park at least until January. Liverpool's failure to land Guehi has come into sharper focus this week after fellow centre-back Giovanni Leone suffered a serious injury in the Carabao Cup victory over Southampton. The Italian was making his debut after a summer move from Parma, but went down in pain during the closing stages of the 2-1 win and is now facing up to a year out with a serious knee injury, leaving Arne Slot fairly short on options at the back between now and the winter window. When Palace welcome Liverpool to South London, Guehi will be able to pit himself against Liverpool's record signing Alexander Isak. The pair could yet be teammates next term, though the defender hasn't found it too difficult to put the noise to one side and focus on his own game. "I'm okay. I guess so. I don't like the limelight," Guehi said after scoring for Palace against Aston Villa at the end of August. "I'm glad I have a good club and good teammates around me. When you focus on what is important, the football, it makes it a bit easier." Discussing his goal, Guehi explained, "It's a blur. I can't remember much. When you score goals like that, it's down the team performance. The credit should go to the team. I was tired. So much running. It's important we stay humble, we'll see what the future holds. Crystal Palace means a lot. I'm a South London boy, grew up in South London and captained the club from a young age. They have been fantastic to me and my family. A pleasure to play for this club." Guehi is out of contract at the end of the season, and is not expected to sign fresh terms. Palace may yet face offers in January, with Liverpool not the only club likely to be in the mix. A Real Madrid switch has also been suggested, which would allow Guehi to link up with England colleagues Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jude Bellingham. His willingness to move to Anfield has been made clear, though, and Slot's desire to bring in the 25-year-old hasn't been impacted by the summer swoop for teenager Leone. Palace's decision to hold on to Guehi came after conversations between manager Oliver Glasner and the club's higher-ups, when the Austrian boss made his position clear. He denied threatening to quit if the centre-back was sold, but laid bare the risk facing the Eagles if they took the money. "At the end of many discussions, it was the chairman who asked me, 'Oliver, do you think we can manage the season when we sell Marc?' I said, 'Honestly, we can't manage it in the short term,'" the former Eintracht Frankfurt manager said. "If you want this scenario for Palace and you are fine with it, sell Marc. If you don't want to have this, then we have to keep him." And then he decided to keep him. Guehi was part of the Palace team which kept clean sheets home and away against Fredrikstad to book their place in the Conference League proper, and Glasner's side have the joint best defensive record in the league with just 2 goals conceded. They won 2-1 at West Ham last time out, ensuring they and Liverpool are the only unbeaten sides in the competition after 5 matches. Liverpool served damning Konate future update as true Real Madrid intentions are explained, multiple sources. Liverpool have warned they are now in a seriously difficult spot over Ibrahima Konate's future, with Fabrizio Romano revealing Real Madrid's exact plans for the defender, though other sources have given Arne Slot some hope of retaining the player. The Frenchman joined the Reds in a £36 million, €40 million, deal from RB Leipzig in the summer of 2021, and he has gone on to become one of the most trusted defenders in the world game. Forming a strong alliance with Virgil van Dijk, their rock-solid partnership at the back was a significant factor in Liverpool's 2024-25 Premier League title triumph. However, his deal at Anfield is due to expire in June 2026, and ongoing efforts to secure the player down to a new deal have been met with frustration. At one stage last autumn, it looked as though Konate was closing in on an extension with the Reds. But some 12 months down the line, the 26-year-old is still yet to put pen to paper, and with Real Madrid persistently linked, another defection from Merseyside to Madrid now looks an increasingly likely prospect. Real Madrid don't forget the name of Ibrahima Konate because his situation compared to Saliba has always been different, Romano said on his YouTube channel. For Saliba, there were active conversations to extend, but for Konate, the situation has always been complicated since November. A new contract at Liverpool was quite close in October/November 2024, then there were some changes in the conversation and now the conversation is still difficult. Liverpool are still trying to extend the contract of Konate, and they made new attempts in August, but at the moment it looks difficult. It looks complicated. So Konate is one of the names we have to keep on Real Madrid's shortlist because they love a free transfer, because Konate is a player they appreciate and because Real Madrid have a very good relationship with the agents of Konate. So, for sure, Konate is still a possibility for Real Madrid. Until January, nothing will happen because Real Madrid will never do anything illegal by negotiating or agreeing with the player before January. If he doesn't extend the contract, Konate is going to be free to talk with any club and so Real Madrid is a possibility. However, move to Real Madrid might not be quite as cut and dried as previously felt if other sources are to be believed. Real Madrid have some Konate reservations. In addition to Romano, both ESPN and Goal have provided updates over the 25 times capped France defender's future. Starting with ESPN, they confirmed that the club are giving serious thought to signing a new defender in 2026 and the expectation that David Alaba will likely move on. However, with William Saliba's decision to sign a new deal at Arsenal this week now seen as a crushing blow to their transfer plans, the club appear divided on whether to now move for Konate as an alternative, and it seems they do have other options in mind. They state that at Madrid there is some internal debate within the club over a move for Konate. Some at the club view Konate as the latest candidate for a policy that has seen Madrid recruit other top players such as Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kylian Mbappe, Antonio Rudiger, and Alaba on free transfers in recent years. However, in hope for Liverpool, they state there is not the same degree of unanimity inside the club over Konate as there was in the case of Alexander-Arnold. Furthermore, they are also looking at alternative options, which, according to Goal, are either Castello Luquiba, of RB Leipzig, or promoting highly rated youth team prospect, Joan Martinez, just 18, into the first-team picture. Despite looking at Luquiba and Tottenham Hotspur's Mickey van den Ven, our reporter Dean Jones believes Konate is the most likely next centre-back star at Real Madrid. Jones says, "I was told Konate was the one they have considered most likely, but clearly they have eyes on other players too. It is interesting that they are also now being linked with Mickey van de Ven because I have heard that this might be a situation to watch across this season. At this stage, I don't believe there is any contact involved or anything like that, but Madrid want to turn people's heads, and if Van de Ven looks to raise his profile from Spurs, then it is feasible he would see Madrid as a potential place to move to. I think he has been a player of interest to them for quite a while, so we will have to wait and see if they make the jump to a more active pursuit." As far as Konate replacements go, Dayot Upamecano has reportedly made his demands clear to Bayern Munich amid interest from Liverpool, with Real Madrid also eyeing a move for the central defender next summer. Upamecano is not the only player that Liverpool and Real Madrid are competing for. A Mexico international is also on the radar of Liverpool and Real Madrid, with Los Blancos said to be his preferred destination, as Manchester United also circle. It's not just a new defender Liverpool want to sign in 2026, with a report naming the mouth-watering triple deal the Reds hope to secure next year, with an unflappable Premier League star top of their wishlist. What decision should Ibrahima Konate make about his future?